Well, hello everyone. This is Jeanette Collins, and I'm back for another card with the Sweet as a Peach bundle. This card is going to be done with die cuts again, and I'll be piecing it together. So I hope you'll watch to the end and enjoy this beautiful card with the Sweet as a Peach bundle and using some of the beautiful paper that came in this set. All right, here we go. Of course, this is the Sweet as a Peach bundle. It is the stamp set, and the bundle is actually when you buy the dies as well. So I have the dies and the stamp set, and that saves you 10% when you purchase it together. Okay, so I'll be using this, and I'm also going to use a sentiment from Happy Thoughts. I've decided, I've had several people on my mind a lot, so I'm wanting to send Thinking of You card to them. Okay, and let me share with you some of my pieces that I'm going to use. Of course, I'm going to use a top folding card base. Okay, and the card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 as normal. All right, and I do like the top fold. That's just white cardstock. I have, okay, let's see. This is a designer paper that comes with the pattern paper that you could order that goes with the set. And I'm using this stripe today. And this one is cut at 3 1/4 by 5. And it's going to be on top of this green Pear Pizzazz paper cardstock, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So basically, I'm layering my pieces, the card base, the Pear Pizzazz, and the DSP, and they all go down in increments of 1/4 inch. And then that leaves me that little 1/8 inch. Actually, this one might even be a 1/16 inch. But I love the look, you know, the skinny edge on the green and the white border. In addition to that, I have another piece of white cardstock that will be the base, because even though this is a white base, I don't like to stamp directly inside my card in case I mess up. And then I've, you know, once I've put all the things on the front of the card, then it's like, you know, if you mess up, what do you do? So when you just stamp on that. I have 2 tiny pieces I'm going to add. This is a piece of the designer paper, and I call this my green strip. And it's 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So it's actually the same size as the designer paper stripe. And then I'm going to place this piece all the way across, just leaving that little edge there. And so this one's going to be 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. All right. And then I actually had this in my stash bowl. It's just a little strip, and I'm going to put that at the bottom. I'm also going to use these die cuts that I've already cut out for you. So this is the branch, and I have my little flowers, the little leaf that goes on the peach. And if you want to see how to get all the different variations of color in the peach, I have a video out called Sweet as a Peach Technique, and it shows you exactly how to do that. And let's see. Also, I wanted to share with you my little tip in working with the Sweet as a Peach bundle. One of my practices and all my cards I make is I die cut everything. I stamp a lot of different items, and then I die cut them so I have plenty to choose from. Also, notice that, talking about variation in color, notice that this one here has more pink on it, and it's because I use Flirty Flamingo just to help it kind of coordinate with that striped paper a little bit. And I die cut just so many little pieces that come in the set. You can see the little tiny peaches under there, and the word strips the hello friend. And then I always throw in things like this that are just small little bits and pieces. So I keep those nearby. Now, on this one, what I did with the Flirty Flamingo is I took my little dauber and I just rubbed some Flirty Flamingo on this one, just to get rid of that white edge. I just thought it needed that. So if you don't like the white edge, like this of course has a lot of white edges, that doesn't bother me. But for this big element, I'm like, you know, let's put some Flirty Flamingo on there. And I think it really helps match this DSP, bringing in that color. So that's the only reason I did it. It doesn't have to be done that way. All right, so let's start assembling the card and put these things away. I'll just put them all over here on this side. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm a brand new demonstrator. I signed up on May 4th. No, not 4th, May 5th, the day after the new catalog came out. And I am having so much fun ever since I did it. If you've ever thought of becoming a demonstrator, it's actually a lot of fun. Of course, I like doing this. I'm a former school teacher, so I like being able to, you know, talk through steps and hopefully maybe help somebody if they're struggling with design and ideas. All right, so my first color to go down is my Pear Pizzazz. I use Tombow Mono liquid glue. And I just put a thin little bead there. I like it because then you can place your panel on the front and you have time to move it around just a bit. And I think I said this is card number 3 for Sweet as a Peach. My plan is to make at least 6 cards, maybe 7. So, okay, and here's this stripe. I'm going to put it on this way. And again, using my Tombow glue. I'm not brave enough yet to do all the die cutting and all that stuff on camera because I know I'm a little slow. But I tend to be a slow card maker anyway. I love that. I love that it has that thin little border, and that looks like a 1/16 of an inch. So my measurements may not be exactly right. It's probably, this DSP is probably a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 of an inch difference the way I cut it. All right, my next one that I'm going to put down is the green, and I'm going to put it down here. And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. Hope you're having a good day. Today, my husband and I enjoyed watching some college baseball. We have a family that has a son in the College World Series regional playoffs, and so it's been fun watching him play and trying to get to the World Series. Okay, now on top of that, you know what? I'm going to lift this back up just a little bit. I just remembered why. Because when I use my little die cuts, I might want to put that in there. So I'm going to hold off on this one because actually this is the piece I'm going to stamp on. All right, now the little die cut pieces. What I was thinking is putting this little branch here. Let's get it where it doesn't completely fall over off the card. And let me get that down. I'm going to just glue this part and down to the bottom. I'm going to leave the top part unglued so I can lift it just a little bit. And I'm going to place it here. Get those leaves out. Come on, leaves. Yeah. Okay, now I have it in there pretty good. Okay, now I can press that down where that glued part down. Hope you can see this okay. I'm still experimenting with my camera system. All right, I have these little flowers I want to put on that branch. And I have 4, even though there's probably just a need for 3. But I'm going to start with my larger flowers first and put them flat. So if you have already die cut your little flower, and it is so nice when you do die cut. Let's put it kind of on top of the leaf, but it's still flat. All right. But when you have the little die cuts to pull from, and this way it just makes assembling the cards so nice, because you can, you know, think about like, how do I want this card to look? Do I want it to look, you know, kind of the same? Gives you a chance to play with the design. All right, now here again, I used some of that Flirty Flamingo around it. I was just experimenting, seeing what I could do. Let's see, do I want to put this one here? Let's get this normal one in here. Nope, okay. This one is going to go in this spot. This is such a beautiful set. It's so much fun, especially the little sentiments. You know, you're as sweet as a peach. Let's see, what are some of the others? Have a peachy day. Hope your day is as, and you could say sweet as a peach. So, all right, here's another little one. I already put a little dimensional, which is a little foam piece. I put that on there because I want to raise this one. I'm going to put it kind of right here in the middle. Okay, so it looks like the flowers, some of the little blooms, little peach blooms are behind it. All right, so that's that. And I was going to put this one here, but we're not going to stick it down yet. We got to do some stamping. I do want to glue this leaf element to my peach. So again, since I am so new, I'd appreciate if you would leave me a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. One of my fellow stampers said, "Oh, you're so brave to just jump into YouTube." I'm like, well, got to start somewhere. And I figured, you know it's not going to be great, but I don't claim to be the best at this yet. And hopefully I'll get better as the months go on. All right, now here's my little strip. Let's move this aside, that I want to stamp on. Now, as you can tell, it's going to fit right here. And it leaves me, what is that? About 1/8 of an inch on each, the top and the bottom. It is even with, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's flush on the edges. And so that is 3 3/4 in the width because it matches this piece. All right, but let's stamp. And I wanted to use, like I told you, from Happy Thoughts, Thinking of You. This is a stamp set that is in the mini catalog, and it's going away as of June 30th. So if you don't have this, you may want to grab it. It is beautiful. I love the fonts on it. And it has, you know, it's good. Congratulations, thank you, thinking of you, happy birthday. But then the nice thing is the sentiments that you can put on the inside of the card also. So this is Happy Thoughts. Again, it expires. It is going to retire June 30th. So if you don't have that, you might want to get it ASAP. Okay, so I have my stamp right here, the Thinking of You. And I'm going to stamp it up in black. Reach around there. Okay, you can see how I've Got it, and now I'm just going to stamp straight down. I'm going to go a little higher than, I'm not going straight in the middle for a reason. Okay, hold it and lift. There, isn't that pretty? Thinking of you. And the reason why I wanted to lift it a little bit is because of this little tiny piece. Like a, what, a 1/4 of an inch? I thought it just offset that pink paper, the stripe, just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down with glue. I'm also trying not to make my videos too long since I know I'm kind of slow. It's like, well, if I have things cut out, maybe that will help. Just kind of give you measurements and keep moving. See, I think that looks very pretty. Now I'm going to put this white piece flat. I am not one to pop everything up. You'll see some demonstrators put dimensionals on everything, and I like some pieces flat. Just very few popped up, because to me then it makes the popped up stuff really show off. All right, and now we have the peach, and he's going to go right there. Now I will pop him up. You can see just holding it there how that looks nice. I could put it flat, but I think I will pop them up, and I will use these diagonal, actually these are hexagon little dimensionals. They're little foam backed dimensionals. I probably just need 2. I'll put 1 on the leaf too. Okay, okay, so 1 on the leaf and 2 on the peach. You know, I sit down and I kind of design several cards, and then when I come back to my desk the next day, I'm like, now what was I doing here? So there we go. Doesn't that look pretty? Now again, this was all just die cut pieces that I had stamped prior to it. Like I said, you're just catching this in my little bowl. I have them all already die cut, stamped and die cut, and so I can assemble pretty quickly. That looks good. I will put some little jewels on the flowers at the end. Now, since we have that stamped, now I want to stamp the inside of my card, which is this one. And this is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I want to stamp the branch. So the branch will be stamped. I think I'm gonna make it going down like so. I'm just gonna set it there. It's clean. And I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz ink. Okay, so let me stamp. Whoops. Okay, let me get this inked up. All right. Oh, and I know what else I wanted to do. I wanted to stamp off. So I'm bringing in another piece of paper as a scrap paper, and I'm going to stamp off because I want this to be very light. So I'm going to stamp off quickly and then stamp, because I want to put my sentiment over this piece. That didn't come out as light as I wanted to. I think I need to try again. Let's do it again. That's why I don't like stamping directly onto my card. Okay, here's another base. So this time we'll use this as the Stampin' All. I could just turn it over, right? Yeah, I could just turn it over. All right, let me try this again. sure this is clean because I don't want to leave any extra. Okay, here we go again. I need my stamping off. Okay, inking up my branch. Stamp off. And now stamp down. This is what they call second generation stamping. Now that looks much better. See, it gives me a whole different, I mean, that's quite a bit lighter than this. So, okay. And now what I wanted to do is, instead of the blooms, I'm going to use the 3 little peaches. Okay. So I want to stamp off again and get these. But we're not doing green peaches, although they do start out green, don't they? All right, let's work with the pale papaya. And while I'm at it, I'm going to get out my Flirty Flamingo because I'm going to do a little bit of shading on my peach. My 3 little peaches. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to stamp off this pale papaya. So I've got it inked up. I'm going to stamp off and now stamp down. And I know for sure, I've done this enough, that the peach that has a little, I don't know what you call that, the little point at the end is the one that goes to the very right. Okay. And up. Whoa, that's really light, isn't it? But that's okay. Now what I'm going to do is take my little ink dauber, this little thing, and I'm going to go into the Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to tap some Flirty Flamingo on top. And just around, I'm just tapping onto the stamp set itself. And this is going to give me some dimension. Now, I'm not being real careful about where and how much, but I'm leaving some places, you know, without ink. Okay, I got to find that pointy, pointy peach again. And let's put it down. Okay, let's see. See if I can line it up. I'm not looking straight overhead, so it's always a little more difficult. And down. And okay, so that's not bad. Okay, with my 3 little peaches. I wish I had a little bit more pale papaya on it, but for this card today, I'm not going to push myself too hard, and I don't want to completely redo it because I don't want my video to get too long. And okay, now my last sentiment is have a peachy day, because it's thinking of you. Have a peachy day. So I'm going to get my black again. Excuse me for that noise. Okay. And what I'm going to do is put it right in the middle. That's why I wanted it to be a little lighter. And down. There. Isn't that pretty? That just, and now it's with the word sentiment on it, you're not paying attention to the shading of the peach. It just kind of gives you that nice soft background. So now this card is ready to go on the inside, like so. And I will do that. Let's get this glue on here. Just a little, such a tiny little stream of the glue I use, not very much. Okay. But yet it gives me enough time to move things around to get it the way I want it to be. Okay, that looks pretty good. And there we go. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Since I'm new, I would love your support and in growing this channel. and so I can continue doing more videos. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you could sign up under me. My name is Jeanette Collins. And if you want to purchase anything from me, like the Happy Thoughts or the Sweet as a Peach, you go to JeanetteCollins.stampinup.net. Thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you watching. Have a good day. Bye.